but
I
I try not to overtalk anybody. I try not to cut nobody off because that's kind of not the point of the show and the
yeah,
platform. You
yeah, I
know.
understand. Yeah, you actually my first one that I'm actually on, first ever podcast I'm on.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, for real. I hit up so many people, but like they reached back, but actually just like tested positive for COVID. So
Yeah, I was about to ask you how you doing with that.
lost my taste and smell, but now I'm feeling good, bro. But I just lost my taste and smell, and it sucks.
This is a collection of stories. Landover Legend Studios presents. I've been through a lot. The I Can't Make This Up podcast. By Big C.
It really sucks. Like I can't enjoy food anymore. It's like I have no excitement in eating anymore. It's overall
O-
terrible.
Okay, so um, the before we get into that, man, welcome back, everybody. I got a new guest here today on the I Can't Make This Up podcast, and he's got an interesting story to tell. His most newest venture was catching the vid.
Yeah, catching
Some
the Rona,
catching the
catching
vid,
Rona.
man.
Yeah,
I want you to give it up for the host. Of his brand new podcast that he just started and something that he's looking to grow, the Ghetto
yeah.
podcast. Give it up for Caesar, everybody.
Yo, what's up, guys? How y'all doing? Yeah, thanks for having me on here. So, it started off like 2 weeks ago where I went to Wildwood, New Jersey.
Okay.
You know what that is? Yeah,
Yeah. I've been there
yeah,
before.
yeah. Didn't have the best experience, but the beach was nice. Like it was very nice. Like the boardwalk and everything. It's
Hmm.
just like some of the people there weren't the best. Were a little different, but other than that, it was like I stayed there for maybe 4 or 5 days down there because I'm not really like around like that area. I'm more
Okay.
towards North Jersey
Hmm.
and stay there. I'm having a blast. Stay at this like pretty like decent motel if you would like to say.
Okay.
And once it was that Friday, we were leaving, and I didn't feel good at all. Like I had like a pounding headache like the whole day since I woke up, and I probably got maybe like 4 hours of sleep only. And I once I got home, I just needed to like relax, lay down. And once it was the like Saturday, the next day,
Hmm.
what's it called? My brother got tested, and he tested positive for it.
Hmm.
And I was like, damn it, I can't even see like my girlfriend or anything. Like, just can't see anybody. And it's been like this for 2 weeks straight. And I had a quarantine for maybe 10 days and it ended yesterday.
Okay.
But then I got tested recently and it came back positive for me. That Friday that you hit me up, that's when
Okay.
I got tested. And I had to text everybody. I was having somebody come on my podcast like earlier.
Uh-huh.
I had to cancel that. And then I had to cancel going on here that Friday because of it.
Hmm.
So, and the person that was supposed to come on my podcast just basically ghosted me now. And like, I haven't heard from him. I've been texting him like, yo, you trying to come on the podcast tomorrow? Like, yo, what's up? And just leaves me on like opened and everything. It's like really annoying. And I've been
Okay.
like this. Yeah.
All right. So I got a couple questions. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that this was a family trip that you went to while I was.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Okay,
was.
so did everyone end up catching it, or just a
Nah,
select?
just me, my brother, and my dad.
Okay,
That's
okay.
it.
So
Yeah.
that sucks.
It's terrible.
Yeah, everyone dealt with it. Well,
Yeah.
everyone who's contracted it has dealt with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I got people who had it. Some of them were asymptomatic. Some
Oh,
of them
really?
weren't. Some people felt like they were going to die. So
Oh,
it's a scary experience, and because it's so new and so fresh, and it's you don't know how it's going to react because everyone's immune system is different.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I'm
completely
saying?
different.
So you can't just say, "Oh, you'll be fine," because you don't know.
Oh yeah, you
You
really don't know because
Yeah.
I didn't have it as bad as what's called my dad. He had it
Mhm.
like pretty bad, and I didn't have it as bad at all. All I did was the first couple of days, like I was quarantined, like the first like week,
Mhm.
still had my taste and everything. I felt normal. I just had like a dry cough and maybe like a stuffy nose. Came Tuesday, that Tuesday, I lost like my nose was like burning really badly, and it felt like I needed to throw up. I was tasting throw up in my mouth. The
Mhm.
next day I wake up, can't smell anything, can't taste anything. And it was just terrible because I was like, damn, like I don't know how I smell or anything. Like, do I smell like shit or do I smell good? Like, I don't know. And like I'm just having like hella soda and everything, and I just can't taste anything. It's just bubbles in my mouth. It's weird, but it's crazy. It
like
sucks.
like you gotta eat, but you can't enjoy it. Like that would make me want to only
Yeah.
drink liquids or something. Like I would waste. Like if I went to like Papa John's or something and I couldn't taste
Oh
it,
yeah, yeah.
I would be so mad. I would be satisfied, but I can't enjoy it. You know?
Yeah, because I actually ordered out a couple times when I had no taste or no smell. I ordered Applebee's and Wingstop actually. And like I love those places and I couldn't enjoy it. It was just bland. Just nothing. Just it's like I'm eating air. It's
Okay.
really, yeah, it's not the best thing.
So
It's not
you
fun at all.
you from New Jersey originally,
Yeah, originally born and raised.
born and raised. What's it like
Yeah.
coming up in Jersey?
Man, well, where I'm from, it's not the best, honestly, because like, well, where actually no, where I used to live isn't the best, but I moved out
Mm,
because where I used to live was not like the best. It was like I'm not gonna call it the hood.
okay.
It was like lower income families instead of the
Mm,
middle class families. Now I'm like in the middle class. Now it's and then back then it was like the lower class and everything like that. It was very like violent some days and it was just very dirty and I didn't enjoy it.
okay. Has anyone ever tried to call you Daniel Caruso?
No, not at all. I'll be honest. Not, I'll be honest, I don't even know who that is.
Okay. How old are you, Caesar?
17.
You're 17.
Yeah. Well, how old do you think I was? 18?
I was going to say 18, 19, something like that. Okay.
I'm pretty tall. That's all I could say. I'm like 6'3".
Oh, for real?
Yeah, six
Okay.
three, but like
All right.
skinny.
So that means that you were born in like 2004, 2003,
Yeah.
something like that, right?
Oh, 04.
Okay. So have you ever heard of the Cobra Kai series?
Yes, I have.
Okay. You know that's based off a movie, right?
I know. Yeah.
All right. So the main star of the Karate Kid, the character's name is Daniel Caruso. He's from Jersey.
Oh, all right.
So he what I'm saying,
Yeah.
kind of favors you a little bit.
Yeah, it fits
So
me. Yeah. Think I look
so
like him?
maybe if it was somebody older, that said it and threw you off, I'm pretty sure they would have told you, but you said you never heard of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty young, if you would like to say.
Yeah, I
So yeah.
mean, but I mean, from what I've ascertained so far, you seem pretty ambitious. Listening to a couple episodes of your podcast, I see that you motivated and you got a little direction on where you want to go.
Yeah, I usually like my motivation that I get is that I've seen so many like motivational speakers and everything and motivational people, and they always say no matter what, you only live one life, so live it to its fullest, and nobody's ever making it out alive. So I do whatever I want, like not whatever I want to do, but I push myself to the fullest to make sure that I could be the best or like be successful or something like that or grow the podcast so like most people could hear around the world. That's like my goal. And that's how I stay motivated every time. I'm always like saying like I'm going to do this today and I make sure I do it that day. I don't try to procrastinate anything. I always have that motivation or try to have the motivation to always push myself to be better and always do better to make sure the
Okay,
podcast is the best.
you still in school or you just got out?
I'm a senior, going to be a senior.
Okay, that's dope.
Yeah.
You been doing the virtual thing this whole time.
Actually, nah. I've done it maybe fall to winter. Then came April, late April.
Mm-hmm.
We did so we had these two separate things, AM and PM. It went by like your last name, and the I think it was like A to like N was AM, and then M to Z is PM, and that was the PM. So I slept in till like 9:30 because class started at like 11:30. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like 11:30 to 2:20. So I had it easy. So I did that, and came May, we combined together, and we just had full days.
Wow. So they basically did split shifts with the school to
Yeah.
keep the numbers down, and then they decided to combine a month later.
Yeah. Because I saw it was like getting a little better
Mm-hmm.
because like with the vaccine and everything. And then came the summertime, and now I'm here. Just
Okay,
literally started a podcast in March this year, 2021. Like,
that's dope. I was going to
yeah.
ask, what was one of the motivational speakers that stuck out to you?
Uh, do you know Gary V?
I heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah, I be watching him, like
Oh,
what he does, like entrepreneurship and all that. He
okay.
really like motivated me. That's what I like. That's what I like look up to.
Okay, that's dope. I think
Yeah,
that not enough people actually do that. You know, they can hear something, but they
yeah,
don't pay attention to what's being said. I always say it's the difference between talking to somebody and talking at somebody. You know,
yeah.
so as a youth, I think that you feel like your parents are talking at you when they don't hear where you're coming from. You
Oh yeah,
know,
for sure. Yeah,
especially if you feel like you're being misheard, or they don't care because they're angry, or they're just trying to get their point across. But when you're talking to somebody, there's an exchange of ideas and information and
yeah,
understanding. You know, so
yeah. I understand.
with people these days, I think that there's not enough comprehension between one another, which leads to people revolting, or people getting upset, or people just walking away with a
Yeah, very.
misunderstanding of a situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Cause also another like motivation thing is that like people in your school actually like hate on you if you do something that you actually want to do when you're older. Like people hate on you,
Hmm.
and that just motivates me to like do it more and more and more, and make sure like I actually grow it and make it like successful to prove everybody wrong. That's what I'm like. Another like my goal is big motivation. That's like one of the big ones that I've always been going off.
Can I give you some advice?
Yeah, you can.
You shouldn't look at it as you growing to prove someone wrong, because at the end of the day, honestly, the only growth that matters is between yourself
Yeah,
and the people that follow you, the people that support you. So anyone
yeah,
that that looks down to you or talks down to you, it's either envy or ignorance. You know what
yeah,
I mean? So it's like, oh, look at you trying and doing something and making your dreams come true. Like, fuck you or whatever. Like, nah,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
nah, you can't focus on that, because you could use that as inspiration, opposed to motivation. Because
Mm,
when you use it for inspiration, you know what I mean. That means that, okay, I see that someone's watching me. I'm getting to this person or this type of audience. You know what I'm saying? When
right.
you use it as motivation, if they change, they're no longer motivating you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's really good advice because I don't know, I just never had like somebody to really like give that like type of advice. Never. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Well,
no problem.
what's your backstory about like starting your podcast?
Oh man. Well, I've said this on the show before, and I'm pretty sure people already know if they actually listening to me. But I used to watch this show. It was a podcast on YouTube called Righteous and Ratchet,
Yeah.
and it was funny as hell. Two of my favorite comedians. For me, like, it was a show for them, but for me, I just saw two friends having a conversation about things that were going on in the news, or movies they watched, or experiences they had in life, and it
Yeah.
didn't look like work. And I said, I
Mm.
want that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I want to be able to grow my show while having a conversation with somebody that's, what I'm saying, not just funny and entertaining, but also informative. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
didn't want to do like the talking about like Kanye West and all his troubles, or politics or
Yeah.
nothing like that. Like,
Ah, man.
let TMZ have that. Let the Shade Room have all that.
Yeah,
Let World
facts.
Star have all that. Let's have a real conversation
Yeah.
about some real life stuff that's going to help somebody at the end of the
Yeah.
day. And if I tell you a story about how I got drugged by a girl in between that, then that's
uh,
that's entertainment as well.
yeah, that actually true though?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you actually did?
Yeah, man.
So-
You gotta listen to my
I will.
stories.
I will. I
Yeah,
will. That definitely that sounds interesting. I
I
will.
I also tell
Because
stories.
I was listening. Sorry to cut you off, but I was listening to your recent one. I think his name was John Quinn. I think
James Quinn.
James Quinn. John
Hmm.
Quinn. Yeah, I was listening to that one and on your YouTube as well. Listening to both. It's pretty interesting what like he had to say and what he was talking about. How he grew up in like Pittsburgh.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My goal is to, reach as many people, anyone who's interested in coming on my show, and to talk about, not just what you see on the surface, but behind the scenes. Like I had a couple offers on here. He was one of the first actors I had on here. I had a video vixen that primarily post, like her twerking videos, right? But she was also a print model. She was also a
Oh,
music artist. You know what I'm saying?
damn.
She worked a couple different jobs. She does all her music, like her video editing and things like
Nah,
that.
respect to her.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I wanted to have her on the show, and after that, she said, I appreciate you coming on, and let me tell my story, because people will hit you up, and either they trying to holler at you, or they
Yeah.
trying to work you on some shady business shit, and I'm like, nah, that's not who I am. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's like a big respect to her for doing all that and still like pushing out like content and everything. Like that's must be hard, especially with a couple jobs as well.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I mean, she got a team, and I can't really say it's a team. She got her friends and her family that
Like helping her.
yeah, that does that. Probably do like some managing and stuff like that. But as far
Yeah.
as like the tedious stuff when it comes to social media, she handles that on her own.
She's still doing like most of the part. Like her friends and family are doing like a little bit, but she's doing most of it still. Still
Yeah.
tiring, but yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
it'd be nice if I could, you know, one day interview Eddie Murphy or something like that,
I remember.
or,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, someone who's got a blue check in their name. And, eventually I'll get there. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I also want to, bring on people who isn't big into social media, but they have something important like a good book about financial literacy, or
Yeah.
what I'm saying, they got an interesting story in how they started their business. Like I brought on a guy who literally started his business at the beginning of the quarantine, and
Oh,
what I'm saying, he's
that's
been
yeah, that's
thriving
tough.
ever since. You know what I mean?
Good for him, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, with like my like people that I'm trying to like work up towards is like I don't know if you heard of Twitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be trying to get like social media people like Instagram models, YouTubers, and Twitch people. That's like where I'm trying to like get on like my podcast. That's the people that I'm targeting because that's how
Okay.
I feel like how I could relate to those people more than like people that are from like the 90s or some shit. Like I can't really relate to them, even though I like their fucking music. I like the 90s music, but
Yeah.
I can't relate to some of those people because I wasn't born.
Of course, you talking about something that came out like almost a decade before you was born. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So, I mean, it's good to study up on it. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
because like as you grow, your taste mature.
Oh,
So,
I know that. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
very.
So, like for me, I didn't have a fondness for the old school when I was a kid, but as I got older, you know what I'm saying, it started meshing well more with my personality. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
all rap and all R&B as a child, but now, I might be listening to some Billy Idol, or you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
like some old Tears for Fears or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I switch it up. My playlist is
Yeah.
very
I just-
is very versatile when it comes to music selection and stuff like that.
yeah, I can understand because my music tastes changed like dramatically. Like I used to always like the rap and everything and hip hop.
Hmm.
Now I fell back on that like rap and hip hop, like not phase, but like stage. And I've been listening to like 80s and like 90s hip hop. I For some reason I just fell in love with that. I just love it ever since I like got introduced to that music.
Okay, who do you like from the '80s?
Um Slick Rick, you know who that is?
Yeah, I know who Slick Rick is. Slick Rick
Oh,
the
love
Ruler.
him. Yeah, love him. Children's Story, Mona Lisa. I love all those. Salt and Pepper.
Okay, that's late '80s.
Yeah, late 80s. And I'm more 90s than 80s.
So like
Wu
early
Tang.
Outkast, Wu Tang. Okay,
Love Wu Tang. One of my favorite. Cream. One of my hands down favorite song ever. Cream.
okay.
Love that song.
Cash rules everything
Yeah,
around
around
me.
me. Yeah. Um, Snow sung Informer. You know
Yeah.
him? Like him. I got a whole playlist of it on Spotify. Just 90s playlist, all of it.
Okay.
Crisscross.
So, have you ever thought about like creating playlists for the streamers, something that they might listen to, or like even creating like a video out of their Twitch streams and putting your music to it, something like that?
No, I've actually never thought about that. Like, think about it, I've never actually thought about that. It's a good idea, but I've never thought about it. I don't know why.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I used to not really edit it, but I used to just play music over certain videos back in the day, like old God of War videos and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so just for like my own personal use, and I would post it like on Facebook or whatever. So with this day and age, it's easy to grab a video and make sure you tag the person who made the video in
Yeah.
it, and then what I'm saying, use that as I don't want to say an attention grabber, but a way to what I'm saying, let them know, hey man, I'm a fan. If you like the video, we should talk about collaboration,
Yeah.
possibly getting you on the show, and then don't be afraid to just hit them up on social media, not just Twitch, but Twitter, Instagram,
Yeah,
because
that's what I've been doing as well. Like, just hit like all like social media like influencers on all platforms, like even TikTok, maybe Twitter, Instagram,
mhm.
and then like obviously like Twitch, and then like YouTube. Like I can't really hit anybody up on YouTube, but yeah,
I mean, if they check their comments, but
yeah,
it's easier to get in contact with them via DM. But
yeah, damn, yeah,
I had a guy hit me up off of one of my old videos.
oh really?
He made a comment, said, "Hey man, I'd love to be on your show," and now I got him coming on the show on Wednesday.
Oh, that's what's up. What did he do? You know what he does?
Um, I want to say that he's a comedian,
I mean,
but I would have to go back and look again because, like, I literally have the next 2 weeks scheduled with interviews.
oh,
So
you booked every day?
just about like I try to space it out every other day, but sometimes, um, depending on the way I got things going up, I try to schedule them, between a certain time throughout the week, and on the weekends try to, do one on one day instead of burning myself out back to back because some
Yeah,
conversations go longer than the other, and I would hate to
yeah,
feel
I
like I'm
understand that.
rushing somebody off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the worst, probably the worst feeling for you, like as a host, to like do that to somebody, just rush them off.
Yeah,
Yeah, remember?
but I can't do that because not only would I be cheating myself, but I'd be cheating the audience. You know what I mean? So when
Yeah,
I set
that's
a
the worst.
time, I set it specifically, saying for that, so nothing interferes with it.
Yeah, I know what you're
And
saying.
it's difficult. Like if you're like myself, I'm doing everything by myself. So everything you see posted, everything you see
Oh,
edited,
you are?
yeah. So it's all
Respect.
me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, respect to that, honestly. It's hard
Yeah.
work.
So, one piece of advice I can give to you is, be consistent and
That's what I've been doing.
get as many tools you have on your belt to help you with this, like especially when it comes to like dropping interviews and everything like that. You can put all that stuff on the schedule pre upload it,
Yeah.
set it to when you want to get a release
Yeah.
on all platforms or whatever. When it comes to post too, I think the system's called automation, and then that way you could have it set up for 2 weeks, and you ain't got to worry about posting anything unless you like do like a picture or a quick video or whatever, like on IG or Twitter or whatever, and then you could do all the interviews you want without having to worry about posting it later.
Yeah. That's good. I'm gonna do it because I've been consistent actually. Like I've been trying to do one episode every week.
Hmm.
I've been doing that since March, one episode every week. But came to like now, it's been a little harder right now, but I've been still like grinding to still make sure I'm doing that one episode a week thing. So because
Okay.
I don't want to do one episode a week and then slack off for like a month and then go up. Like I don't want to do that. It's not me. I'm always try to stay consistent, whatever
Okay.
I do. Yeah.
So, what gave you the idea to start your podcast?
Like I've always been wanting to do like something like social media wise. I was thinking about YouTube or Twitch or maybe
Hmm.
a podcast. And I've already done YouTube and Twitch, but I lost like so much motivation. I don't know why. I was just like back then, like 2 years ago, I was always thinking about the viewers. I was always looking what my viewer count was and everything, and it really fucked with my mind, and it just like degraded me, and I just lost so much motivation of doing it, and I just completely stopped. So then I thought I was just looking at like Spotify and all these like things and YouTube, and I've actually seen some podcasts that I was like listening to, and I was like, this would actually be a good idea if I were to start a podcast because I like talking because I used to be very antisocial. Now I'm more on the social side,
Hmm.
and I just want to talk. Sorry, I just want to talk, and I just want to like tell people stories that happen in my life, and just share it to people around the world. That's how I always wanted to start it, and I started it, took action instead of just doing talking. I just took action and made a podcast.
What were you posting on YouTube at first?
So I used to do Fortnite content.
Okay.
Sounds pretty cringy, but I used to do like Fortnite montages,
Hmm.
and I used to like get like clips and everything because I was pretty decent at the game. Tried making it into the competitive scene of that game, didn't work out, and yeah, I just made montages and just posted it, and I've gotten to like only like 100 subscribers, and then I just quit the game, so I couldn't make any more montages, and I just lost motivation off of YouTube and quit that channel. I don't know why
Okay.
though. Yeah.
Well, as a person that went from 23 subscribers in his first couple of months to a little over 2K,
Oh yeah, I saw
um,
that. 2K.
is it felt like I wasn't getting anywhere because in the beginning I was like, no one wants to hear me have a conversation with anybody.
Yeah.
But then I started seeing support, like through comments, through likes, and through shares, and through people telling me, "Hey man, when your merch coming out?" Or "Hey man, I heard your last interview was dope. You need to work on your sound, but other than that, I like what you're talking about." So
Yeah.
that gave me motivation to keep dropping regardless to what the view count is, because you can be strong on one thing, you can't be strong on every platform that you're on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you
So
mean.
you can, I know people who have like a million followers on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
They might have 2,300 on Instagram.
I've noticed that actually. Yeah.
So it's going to work on whatever platform works best for you, but you shouldn't only what I'm saying, constrict yourself to just one platform, because you never know who might catch it on what. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I know what you mean.
don't ever let the view count get you down, man, because you never know what might come from it, and because the right person might find your profile and be like, hey, I got 700,000 people. I just shared your thing, you know.
Yeah, that's
People,
life changer. Oh, sorry.
yes.
Sorry.
So, and then another thing you could do is hop on someone's live stream with them, whether it be IG or Twitch or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like try
Yeah,
to,
I know what you're saying.
yeah, because that's
Yeah.
a way of also getting people to know you outside of that. So you should look for people on IG. I know you say you just started the account, but
Yeah.
someone you might be a fan of, or someone you might find just as entertaining as the next person. Get on their live, have a conversation with them, and then let their followers see who you are. Plug yourself at the same time because you never know what opportunity might come from it.
Yeah, you just, it's all about like patience as well with like the thing. But I'm gonna start doing that, just going on the lives and everything, people that I look up to almost, and trying to get on there and trying to almost get their attention in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to do, honestly.
Yeah, don't ever feel um slighted when someone leaves you on red because
I'm used to that.
it's plenty of people that I've scheduled interviews with or meetings with that flaked on me and never responded, and I don't hold it personally because it happens so many times. Not that I'm saying I'm numb to it, but I know it happens. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So it's just like, all right, cool, whatever. Maybe they'll hit me up in the future, maybe not. But I got to keep going. I can't sit there stuck because
stuck on that
such and
person.
such never hit me back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you just can't like let that like bring you down, and you just can't get frustrated off of that. Because if you just stick on that one person and you're always trying to hit them up and they never respond, you're just wasting your own time that you could be putting into more episodes or like bettering your content or stuff.
Most definitely, most
Yeah.
definitely. So, you gotta give me a story. Gotta give me a story. I know that you got one sitting in the back of your mind that you feel as though people would find interested in hearing.
All right. Is there like any like age restriction or like is there words I can't say?
No, no, no. You good?
Just making sure I don't want to like say anything.
Mm.
Let me think. Fuck. Uh, when I the first time I ever stole something. You want to hear about that? you, you want to hear about that?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So this was back when I was in eighth grade. It's the summer and going into freshman year of high school.
Okay.
And I would say like I was hanging out with these people that like not influenced me, but like they used to like steal a lot of shit from Five Below.
Okay.
And yeah, because it's like a couple blocks away from where I lived, Five Below. And they used to always steal like the big patches of like candy of like Sour Patch and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
they go like, why don't you try to steal something? It's really easy. Just have a backpack on, just
Mm-hmm.
put it in your bag, or no, to hold it, go into the back, like where, because that's where the bathroom was in the Five Below. You had to go in the back, like you're going to the storage area. But
Uh-huh.
right when you open that door, to the right is the bathroom. So you have the candy in your hand, and once you get in that bathroom, you lock that door and you put the candy in your bag, you shut your bag, and you just walk out like you never had anything in your hand, like you left the candy in the bathroom, and you just walk out. So they taught me how to do that. And I was very nervous and scared for the first ever time. I was like shaking. I was like asking so many questions. They're like, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, just be calm. Like, stop making it so weird. And did that. And so it came the next day. I was like, kind of hungry. I want to steal some shit. And it was like crazy because I was like very like nervous walking in because I had a little drawstring bag and they didn't really say anything too much. So I go in and I'm walking straight and I make a left and that's where all the candy was. And I started off at like the little candy like maybe there's like rectangle boxes of like Sour Patch and like the snow caps.
Okay.
They're like mad fire. I love those. And I held them in my hand. I had the drawstring bag on my back and I walked to the back, acting like I'm just looking around the store. And they never had like any like employees walking around to
Mm-hmm.
like walk around like with for the storage and everything. So that was like a bonus on my end. So I walk to the back. I go in. I make that right to the bathroom, and I lock the door. And I just take a deep breath. I'm like, all right. Hopefully nobody saw me. Hopefully they're not checking the cameras, like thinking I'm like stealing or anything. I put it in like the bag, the main compartment, because I had like a little zipper in the front, and then like the big like main compartment. So I stuffed it all in there because I had like a speaker, my wallet, and everything. I was like, I don't want to pay for this shit. So I put it all in my bag. I walk out like nothing happened at all. Just walked out casually. And I just say, like, they say, have a nice day when you leave the store. I was like, have a nice day as well. Bye. I walk out, I make the left, and I go in. And usually, like, we go to like the back because there was Modell's next to it. So I
Mhm.
went into the back of Modell's. That's where like the hangout spot was. And I go back there, I meet up with my friends, and I say, look who got the fucking candy, bitches. And I showed them the Sour Patch and the snow caps. And I just get them like, give me some, give me some. I go like, what the fuck? No, it's all mine. I did all the work. So I give them a couple, but and I kept on doing that. And I'd say I probably stole over $150 worth of shit from there. Yeah. In a span of like a month. And and then after that month, like once it came like freshman year, I actually went into that Five Below, maybe that October of freshman year,
Mhm.
because I was going with my mom to like get something and like some candy and like drinks. And actually, they installed, like, you know how like you walk in and they had like that little TV thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually installed that like after like I stole, because I think they knew that I stole after like I was done with it,
Yeah.
because they noticed. I think that's what I think, that they noticed, and that's why they installed that TV like camera thingy. And ever since like they installed that, I stopped. Like I literally never went in that store again. I was kind of scared. I was like, do they know me? Do they know me? There's like, they see me walk in, are they gonna call the cops or anything? So I never really took the chance.
Yeah. Once you get nervous, once you lose
Yeah,
your grit or your edge when it comes to that, it's best to walk away because you're gonna trip yourself up second guessing, and then you're gonna make
yeah,
yourself look obvious.
yeah. I just never like made sure I made myself look obvious, because after like a couple times, it just felt so natural that I just was like acting so calm and like just acting like I just didn't find anything that I wanted to buy there.
Hmm.
In reality, I was just stealing shit. It's like they never knew. It's
Not
crazy.
that I condone stealing. I want to make this be clear.
I don't
But
either.
if you want to make yourself not obvious, you got to steal what you want and purchase something as kind of like misdirection. Like if you're gonna, get a bunch of candy, buy a bottle of water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So something like that. Not that I'm endorsing this. I'm just saying, if you're going to do something, do it right.
Yeah, because I never really stole any drinks there actually, because it was like in the front of the store. So if they saw me getting a drink or anything, and if an employee sees me, they're gonna be like, "Didn't you just have a water?" And I never seen you put it back, so you're obviously stealing. And that's why I never stole any drinks. I only stole it maybe once, but then that it was too risky for me. I was like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm not doing that again."
Man, I remember years ago. I want to say I was like 18 and 19, and I was out with a couple of my friends, and we was at some restaurant. Probably was like Bennigan's or something that don't
Yeah,
exist anymore.
yeah.
And I literally was trying to get a waitress or whatever to come over so I could pay my bill for like 30, 35 minutes. So I was
Yeah.
like, man, I think they forgot about us. So my buddy was like, "Oh yeah, I'll be back." And he was gone for like 10 minutes, and
What the fuck?
I was like, "Where the fuck he go?"
Yeah.
So my other friend, he left. He was like, "I'll be back." So me not thinking, I'm like, they just left. They ain't coming back. And we all caught the bus up there, so it was just like it's not like they waiting on me at the car or anything.
Oh yeah.
So I ended up leaving. So when I ended up leaving, the guy was like, "Hey, you pay your bill?" I was like, "Yeah, I left the money on the table." I was like, well, I forgot the chick's name. I was like, Stephanie got it. So he turned around
Stephanie got
when he turned around, I dipped. I was like, man, I'm
you
out.
gone, bro. Fuck that shit. Hey, you get the
I went
dash.
outside. They was nowhere to be found. They left me. I ran. You know what I'm saying? I just was like,
Damn.
damn. But when you do stuff like that, I mean, like you don't even feel safe going back. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you really don't because you don't know if like they recognize you. You don't know if they told like the whole like staff or employees that you're the one that stole something. So I just never felt safe to go back there
Yeah.
until you had to wear a mask. That's when the time came. I'm like, yeah, you can't really recognize me. Grow my hair, have the mask on, can't really. Got taller, can't really recognize me. Even though I was always the tall kid, so you could really notice me.
Okay.
It's not
You
like
ever
I was
play any sports?
soccer. Soccer.
Okay.
Everybody says play basketball, play basketball. I'm like, not the best at it. I'm not that good. So I've always played soccer ever since I was 5.
Okay.
Yeah, crazy. And then started playing little tournaments like when I got into high school, like freshman
Hmm.
and sophomore. Started playing in little tournaments. Came junior year, quit. I was just like, the coach of the high school team wasn't really the best, and I
Hmm.
didn't really like him, so I'm quitting. I don't want to do this. It felt like I was playing track just with a soccer ball, though, of how much conditioning I was doing. I was like, fuck
Yeah.
that.
I was gonna say you got to be a vicious runner by now playing soccer because that's basically what you're doing.
Yeah, surprisingly pretty fast, actually. I'm not trying to like brag or anything, but pretty fast because I just have the long legs, spread them out, and that sounds a little weird, but yeah, just
Pause.
yeah, pause, yeah. I don't roll like that. I don't roll like that. I'm
Okay,
taking.
okay. So, yeah, the Ghetto podcast, right?
Yeah.
What made you name that?
Well, I feel like where I grew up when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was just like, let me think of a name. I'm not gonna do like Caesar podcast or something like that. That kind of sounds lame.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm just thinking. It's like two o'clock in the morning. I'm just laying in my bed, have my AirPods in, and I'm just listening to some music. It's like some chill, laid back music, and I'm just listening. And it came to my mind. I'm like, Ghetto, and then podcast, because I always wanted to have like podcast in the name, but I didn't know what the first like word would be.
Mm-hmm.
So I just looked back when I was younger. I was like, what if I named it Ghetto Podcast? So I wrote that in my notes, and when I woke up the next day, I was like, let me make everything like let me make like Anchor. You ever heard of Anchor?
Yeah.
Yeah, went on that, made an account, set everything up, made the Ghetto Podcast, had made a what's it called a profile picture and everything, set it up, got on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and everything, and that's how where I am now, and that's how I got the name Ghetto Podcast. And personally, I like it. It's not too long, it's not too short, just flows. Ghetto Podcast.
Nah, I feel you. I was just curious because, I think it was like the first time besides like Willie D and Scarface's podcast they just started. Theirs is called the Ghetto Boys
Oh, Ghetto.
podcast, I believe. But you know what I'm saying, it stuck out to me once I looked you up. I was like, okay, that's different. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's very different. All I see is like people include the real like it's from my real name, but they always include their names into the like the title. I'm just like, nah, I just want to be different. I'm just gonna do Ghetto Podcast, and yeah, it's not that hard to find me. Surprisingly, I thought it'd be hard. Like when you go on YouTube or shit, it's pretty hard to find you if you have like a saturated name or like a very common name.
Yeah.
But with this, like on like Spotify and everything, you just search up Ghetto Podcast. I'm right there on Apple Podcasts and everything. Just Ghetto
Yeah.
Podcast. I'm there. It's like the first one to pop up or the first or second. I don't know which one, but pops up pretty quick. That's what I.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The name of my podcast actually just came from my life stories and everything that I've been through because like people used to hear stuff that happened to me after I told them about it. And they was like,
Yeah.
"Man, you need to have your own TV show. You need to be on radio or something like that." And I would literally say, "I can't make this up." And people would be like, "Man, if I wasn't there, I wouldn't have believed it." Like with all the stuff that happened to me, like
Yeah.
uh freaking this guy had so I had went to this bar with
There.
with three of my friends and my
Yeah.
nephew, right?
Yeah.
And it was like a random Sunday afternoon. We had nothing to do, and we like taking up one whole side of the bar. And I sit beside this guy. On the other side of him is these two girls, right? I'm hearing their
Yeah.
conversation. They going back and forth talking about one of them was came in from out of town, I think from like Georgia or something for the weekend,
Sure.
and they was looking for something to do. So I'm ear hustling at the same time, like having a conversation with the bartender, right?
Yeah.
This female bartender comes from around the other side, and I noticed that she's pregnant, and I'm just like, wow,
Oh.
I didn't think that she would feel comfortable working at the
Yeah.
bar while what I'm saying, her stomach was sticking out. She had to be at least 7 or 8 months,
Oh, we're
you know.
almost giving birth.
So she's on the other end. She's taking care of my buddies or whatever. My nephew sitting beside me,
Yeah.
and the guy that's sitting beside me, he started asking me what I'm drinking. We having regular conversation. Then he gets to going on about some drink that he made up while he was there. Like, what I'm saying, like I guess something like something he
Yeah.
like put together, some little concoction or whatever. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, sounds interesting. He was like, yeah, man, you should try it. I said, okay, yeah, I might try it after I, get my henny or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So he orders his drink. He takes a sip. He said, damn, it's good. Here, you should try it. He takes his straw out of his drink and he puts his glass up to the side of my face. And I'm like,
What the fuck?
and I'm looking at him at the corner of my eye. I'm like, I know he sees my face. And then on my other eye, I'm looking at the bartender. The bartender stopped. He was like cleaning the cup and he was like this. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
nah, I'm good, man. So he was like, okay.
Okay.
So he turned around and went back to drinking his drink or whatever. And the bartender comes over to me and he's like, hey man, I was gonna talk about you for 40 years if you took a sip of his drink, right? I'm like, no, I wasn't gonna take a sip of his drink.
Yeah. Fuck that. I don't trust
So
that shit.
I turn around. I'm looking at the people that with me. I'm like, "What y'all doing?" He's like, "What you talking about?" I was like, "Man, you didn't see him try to rape my face with that glass." They was like, "What you talking about?" He's like, "I thought you knew him." I said, "No, this just happens to me. I don't know these people."
Damn. Just have that luck.
Yeah. So he leaves, and I started a conversation with the girls that was sitting on the other side of him. I ended up exchanging numbers with one of them.
What's
Then I
up?
go out, I go outside. After that, at the time I was smoking cigarettes, I went to go have a cigarette, right?
Yeah.
I go out there, a buddy of mine joins me, and then the pregnant bartender comes out there and she asks for a light.
You pregnant?
I'm like, huh? So I
Yeah.
turn my back. I said, I ain't got one. Somebody else hands her a lighter. She sparks up a cigarette. I put my cigarette out.
Ah.
I leave. I go back in the bar.
Yeah.
I go back in the bar, and my nephew and my other two friends, they done moved to the other side of the bar. They got a table, two tables full of girls. So we go
Oh.
over there and we start mingling with them. And then the DJ comes on, he starts playing music, and then the guy that tried to offer me the drink, he comes back in the club. I mean, not in the club, in the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
This time he has on a whole new outfit, shades on, leather jacket, and he's looking around
Yeah.
like he's looking for somebody. And I'm like scooching down in the seat. I'm like, is he looking for me? Like, what's going on?
What's good with this guy?
So I was like, hey man, I'm about to pay my bill and we about to leave. He was like, what? I say, look, the dude is back. It's time to go. So I ended up paying my bill and leaving and avoiding that guy. And as I'm walking to my car,
Yeah.
the guy is like, he pops up out of nowhere. He was like, hey, what's going on? You leaving? I'm like, yeah, my house is on fire. Oh, I said
This is
something
on fire.
something stupid like that, and he was asking me No, what did he say? He was like, all right, man. He was like, have a happy Thanksgiving, right?
I was
And
around
I walked
Thanksgiving.
off, and I was like, it's January. Like, what is he talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. What the fuck?
So I
No.
just was like, yeah, man, it's time to go home because the night seemed like it was just gonna get worse and worse, you know.
Yeah, you never know what could happen. Maybe a fight or something like that.
Yeah, I would have preferred that over this guy possibly following me home and turning into the cable guy or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what did he end up doing? Following you or anything? Or
No, no,
left you
no, no,
alone?
no. If I mean, he went back into the bar. You know, for me,
Oh,
um, as long as I didn't see the same car following me down the parking lot, I was good because I would
oh
hate to
yeah,
have to, stomp somebody out just because they was thought they was trying
following
to,
you. Yeah,
yeah, thought they were being friendly, but end up becoming very stalkerish. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, very psychopath.
Hey,
Yeah, man, I wish I could relate to going to a bar, man. I'm only 17. This shit sucks.
look, it'll happen. It's put it this way: don't be in a rush. And I know I sound like a generic
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
adult
Nah, I
when
know
I
what you
say
mean.
don't be in a rush to grow up because literally when I was your age, I was going to clubs. I wasn't going to like bars or whatever, but I was going to clubs. I was going to, grown up settings at
Mm,
16 and 17. By the
yeah,
time I was in my 20s, like my mid 20s, late 20s, you know, none of that stuff amused me. Like when
you
people
already
were
done all
actually
that
doing
shit.
it, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I got to a point to where I needed to do more. Like I needed to travel. I needed to meet new people. Like go to paint parties and stuff like that. And if you're not familiar with that, I'll talk to you about that off air. But you know what I'm saying? Something
yeah.
different.
You can talk to me about that off
Yeah.
air. I'd love to hear
but
about that. Uh,
and so it's cool because I mean you never know. I mean, and it also depends on where you're from and what type of area that you're going to party at. Because yeah, you know what I'm saying. Let's say you go to a bar and they got a nice setting or whatever, but you
yeah,
don't know if that's the night where somebody might go in there and trip out or whatever, and you're not prepared for that.
yeah. You never
Opposed
know
to
what could
somebody
happen.
like me who's experienced it enough to like you could feel the vibe in the room, like hey, let's go. I don't like the way this drunk guy's talking. The security's looking at him. He look like he got like 18 dudes with him. Nah, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
fuck the
waste my
vibe.
money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I realized that when since when I was like 12, like 11 to now, I've noticed like changing wise like maturity like level like and how life changed so much and I miss back then like of how much simpler it was back in middle school like barely had to do any work in middle school for me at least barely
Hmm.
did anything all you like every summer didn't have to worry about a job or anything like this. I was like I kind of miss those old days instead of about to be a senior now. Like think about it, life goes by very fast. Like think about I'm already a senior. It's like crazy.
Okay. So, what are your plans for yourself once you graduate?
Going UCLA.
Oh, really?
Yep,
Oh,
film.
oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. So,
Yeah, I'm still gonna do this, but yeah,
what type of films are you trying to create?
trying to direct like movies, shows. You know,
Oh,
yeah,
what
trying to be a director.
what got you into that?
Actually, when I used to do YouTube like younger, I
Hmm.
used to like, well, me and my friends used to do like YouTube as a joke. And I used to like love like filming and everything. I used to like think like I was like this like professional like filmer, and it was like actually very fun. I also used to like edit videos on the side as
Okay.
well. So I
Yeah.
used to film and edit. So I was like, I actually like enjoy this. Like I actually like enjoying every moment of it and learning new edits and all this. Because I would always search up on YouTube and everything how to edit this specifically.
Hmm.
And every day, like I would leave off at a certain point, and then the next day I'd be so hyped to just like finish the project or work more on the project because I just loved it so much, and that's what got my attention. And in high school, I'm taking like film classes and all this. So yeah, it's
Okay.
crazy.
So
Yeah,
what program are you using? I'm using Power Director for my editing.
I use Premiere Pro.
Okay.
Yeah, got it for free. Kind of hacked it. Kind of hacked it to get it for free. That's what I do for every Adobe software. Just hack it for free, man. Like I just search up on YouTube how to get Adobe Premiere Pro for free. Click the link, download it, and it works like I bought it.
Oh shoot, I'm gonna have to talk to you about that. That might come in handy in the
Yeah.
future, man.
Came in handy for like a lot because if I would like to try, if I see a YouTube video on one of like the Adobe like softwares and I don't know
Hmm.
if it's good or not, I just search up how to get it for free. I download it for free and I see if it's actually like worth it or if it's just absolute ass. And then if it's ass, I just delete it. Like I never paid any money for it, so it's not like I'm not wasting any money.
Okay, how long have you been into editing?
3 years, three
Okay,
years, yeah.
so you have you gotten to the point of being familiar with it to like you can spot like certain mistakes in videos you've seen or how to tweak something to like if someone's trying to do something and it's kind of off, but you like okay, you need to do this. Like, are you becoming proficient to that matter so that you could spot like certain mistakes or something that you could
I'm slowly picking up on it. I'm still like not like the best or professional yet, but I'm slowly
mm-hmm,
picking up on like those like little mistakes now. Like before, like I'm noticed got like so much progress done over the 3 years. Like I've grown so much as like an editor or filmer. I've noticed the little mistakes now. Like some, not all the time, but like most of the time, I usually notice like the little like mistakes or like the audio sometimes is not the best in some like scenes or like parts. So yeah.
okay. Have you worked on any projects that's like out there on YouTube or anything like that, like yourself? Whether you were, editing or being like, the director on the project or whatever.
Not really, because I was always like scared to reach out to people,
Okay.
and I always hated the like face of rejection.
Okay.
And like I used to do like editing on YouTube and everything, stop that, and now I never really had the chance to like do that because I just always felt scared that people would always reject me and always think my like work would be shit.
Hmm.
So I was always just scared to like put it out or do stuff like that. And I always doubted myself. And I always put myself down to saying like, oh, well, I could never edit for somebody like a YouTuber or something like that. I would just put myself down.
So I know that you mentioned earlier that real antisocial and you recently started to well, I almost say put yourself out there, but start being more social, like starting your podcast and actually
Yeah.
interacting with people. Would you say that was due to the motivational speakers that you've been listening to?
Yeah, because it might sound a little cringy, but on TikTok, sometimes I see these like motivational lines, just
Hmm.
quotes, and it's always like saying like, "Oh yeah, you only got one life, make it count" or something like that. And I was
Hmm.
like, and I literally like had a deep thought about that, and I was like, "Yeah, that's true. You only live once, so like, what am I gonna lose? It's not like you could respawn or get revived or something like that. Like, it's not the case." So I always gone off of that. And I was like, next day or maybe like this like week, I'm gonna be more social. I set goals in my mind. I was like, I'm gonna be social the next day. I'm gonna talk to maybe one or two people and like become friends with them or be like chill with them.
Hmm.
And maybe after like freshman year of like talking to people, came quarantine, and that just like affected everything because I didn't talk to anybody during quarantine. So then came sophomore year, opened up again and started talking to a lot more people. And I've gotten like closer to more people than I ever thought I ever could because I never thought I could talk to so many people, but now I can because I wouldn't say put my mind to it, but I just opened up and just talk to people. Even if they say, fuck you, I don't want to talk to you, I'll just like, all right, you don't need to talk to me then. And I just acted like that. And then I've actually done that to somebody. Like one of this girl did that. And after 2 months, she wanted to talk to me. I'm like, all right, I'm not talking to you. You were such an asshole before, but now you're not. You want to be all nice and stuff. I'm like, nah. So that's how I became more social now.
Okay. Well, uh, the best advice I can give you is people always going to judge a book by its cover. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
you
very.
can't go into that mindset, and everyone moves it moves through life at their own speed. So,
Yeah.
you're going to hit your groove and you're going to sit back and you're going to be in a place in your life where you can laugh at that. Like, man, I just choose to talk to people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And you'll be comfortable enough to share that story without feeling any type of way to how people respond to that. Because when I was younger, because I have a stern demeanor and a real stoic personality, um, people used to always assume that I had like an attitude or, I was just like a bully or something.
Oh yeah.
And don't get me wrong, um, I used to do security. I used to play football and stuff like that.
Oh shit.
And I used the anger that I held within me as motivation to be in a position that if I didn't like what you say, then I could throw you through a wall now. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah. Yeah. Of course.
But I never wanted to be a bully. So
Yeah. Like
I learned to let that stuff get over my back and I learned how to roast at the same time. So you say something about me, I'm gonna talk about you till you get mad. And then
same with
if
me.
you feel like you want to fight, I know you can't beat me, so it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I've been doing. It's like, why am I gonna talk shit about somebody why am I gonna try to be a bully when that's just not gonna help me in later in life and that's just gonna make me be hated by almost everybody? It's like I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna like joke around with you and like roast you if I
Mhm.
want to as like a joke. But
Yeah.
then did I don't really mean it. Like I want to be like chill with it. I don't mean it. I just like have fun like roasting people. So
Hey man, it's
crazy.
that's why it's always good to have like a small group of friends
That's what I got
that
now.
know you and know your sarcasm. They know how you get down because regardless to how you act, like
Yeah.
if they're true friends and they truly mess with you, then they'll know if you like saying something out of spite or something like that. But they also
Yeah.
know that you don't mean it. Something's going on because that's not regular you. When you get around somebody brand new, they're not gonna recognize that, and they're gonna look at it as what I'm saying, you got a chip on your shoulder or you just an asshole.
Oh
So
yeah, of
if
course.
someone walks away from you like that, just plainly walks away from you, then that's not your real friend because your friend's gonna stick around through
Yeah, they
thick and
fake.
thin. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, he was tripping. I'll
Yeah.
talk to him tomorrow and we'll have a conversation about that. But I'm not going to fight you and I'm not going to go back and forth with you because you're going through something that you can't talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fuck fake people, honestly. Uh,
No
that's all I
doubt,
gotta
no
say.
doubt,
Fuck
man.
fake people, bro. That's all I gotta say, man.
But look, man, I appreciate you for coming on, man, and having this conversation with me. This has
No
been
problem,
dope,
bro.
and I can't wait for to drop this episode so people can get to know you and your show and everything you
Yeah.
got going on. And
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing your progress at the same time, man. Because
Yeah.
I have ideas for content and stuff like that. And a person like you, what I'm saying, once you get your director thing going and everything, I love to work with you and hire you in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's a pleasure to be on this podcast and like share like about my life and story and what I'm doing now and how like I have goals for myself. So pleasure
Hey
being here.
man, you welcome back anytime. We could definitely
Hey,
what I'm saying, have you back on and we could have a conversation about any and everything.
of course, if you ever want to come on mine, just hit me up on Instagram. And I'll glad to
Man,
have you on mine.
all right, we could definitely make that happen, man.
Ah, yeah, of
So
course. Let's make it happen.
won't you let the people know where they can find you at?
So you can find me on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcast. It's Ghetto Podcast on all those platforms. And yeah, just follow me on there. And also leave me a review on Apple Podcast so I know how I'm doing for the feedback and everything. So yeah.
Okay. And the social media?
Twitter, Ghetto Podcast. That's all I got right now. Maybe in the future, I'm gonna get an Instagram and maybe a TikTok. I don't know.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, I have been your host, the Landover Legend, aka Big T, and this has been another installment of the I Can't Make This Up podcast. That's I Can't, with a K, Make This Up podcast. You can find me everywhere podcasts are available. I'm also on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Please leave a comment. Please like, please share, and don't forget to follow my guests and support them on all their ventures and whatnot. I appreciate you guys for listening. This has been a very great journey, and I can't wait to see what happens a year from today. But until next time, peace.
Later.
I can't make this up. Being the wingman got me punched in the face by this crazy chick. I can't make this up. Gave this cool old man to ride home, now I'm harboring the fugitive. I can't make this up. Pinned between the fat chick and the speaker, now my shirt smell like her backside. I can't make this up. It's all bad cause my man about to get stabbed in his hand over french fries. Bet. I'ma let T tell you that story one day, man. It's a good one. And I'ma let the Landover legend do the rest. I'm out.